SwiftUI is an amazingly cool tool for making user interfaces. However, much of the data passing in SwiftUI is not as intuitive as you'd like. Let's look at how to make a simple counter button to show you some things you should know about SwiftUI. If you are not familiar with buttons in SwiftUI, let's look at their basic anatomy. Buttons take a parameter target, which can be a closure, or it could be a function. Inside the closure, you return a view for the label. Most likely a text object, but it could be any view, so you can get creative. Let's do some coding. Open up a new SwiftUI project like I have here. In SwiftUI, if you want a control to change a value, you need to make it a state variable with a state wrapper. So in the content view that I have here, I'm going to go ahead and put state in here, at state var count equals 0. I'll next change the title to give the count, so I'll use some interpolation here. So I'll just go in here and change this to quote backslash count. And we can go ahead and start the preview here. And you'll see we get a count of 0. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go command click on the text here, and I'm going to embed it in a button. And I'm going to set an action, which I can put right here in this closure. So I'm going to put self.count plus equals 1. Now this is getting a little too hard to read, so I'm going to actually do a command return and get rid of my preview. And you can see the whole code there. And so this, what we're going to do is it just puts an action where we just put some action. You can also use a function in here, by the way. So if I set up a method up here, func something, I can just put that name here. And then we've got text count. Now I'm going to go ahead and resume that canvas. So I'm going to do command option return and resume. And you get a button, though it doesn't look like much. I'm going to have to make this bigger text and give some background to make this look more like a button. So let's go ahead and add a font to this. And I'm going to make it large title. And then I'll add a foreground color. And we'll make that black. And then we'll add some padding. And you can start to see on the canvas all of this starting to change. Okay, and the padding now extends the view there. And now I'm going to do background. And we'll use the color green. And let's corner radius those. And that rounds the button. Now I'm going to do is hit the preview button here. Scoot it up a little bit. It starts to run, and you can see that on the bottom here. I'm going to zoom out a little bit so you can see the preview here running. And once it stops, it's now compiled. And I can go ahead and hit this preview button. And as I click it, you can see the counter run. You can also run this counter on your simulator too. So if I just want to use an iPhone XR, I can hit run here. And once it comes up, I can go ahead and click the button again. And the button runs just fine in the simulator. There's a lot of possibilities with buttons in SwiftUI. Buttons are tap-only events and change their state through an action. Like this case, you could change a state value or check on other variables. Learn how to make this video at 360iDev in Denver, Colorado. I'll be leading a workshop, No Biz Like ShowBiz, Xcode and Instructional Video, on Sunday afternoon, August 25th, where we'll go through the steps of making professional iOS and Xcode training videos. See this and 3 days of informative sessions with some really cool speakers about everything you wanted to know about iOS development at 360iDev, August 25th through the 28th, at the Grand Hyatt in Denver, Colorado. For more information and registration, go to 360iDev.com.